couple of weeks. But we would be remiss if we didn't have representatives of the most important people here, and that are parents of students who had an opportunity and are concerned about taking advantage of this. And we asked a couple of folks to come today, Tara Myers and Tracy Woodard, and I asked them to come up today and share their stories a little bit about why this is important. Thank you very much.
As a representative had mentioned, my name is Tara Myers, and I am a daughter, a sister, a friend, a wife, and most importantly, a mother. While I wear many hats, my greatest joy has been being the mother of 3 beautiful children, ages 16, 14, and 12, a son with special needs, and 2 daughters who are considered typical learners. As a mom, my plate is full with different responsibilities, helping take my children to swim practice, helping with homework, making sure that the dinner is on the table nightly. But I fully believe that my greatest responsibility as a mom is to ensure that each of my 3 children receive a meaningful and accessible education in a safe and nurturing environment. And that's why I'm here today. I can tell you from my personal experience the terror of experiencing as a mom when my son and daughter were put in situations that left them physically and emotionally scarred. Schools are supposed to be safe and a place to foster learning and help each student to excel. And when a school system proves to be a scary place and a stifling situation for a student to excel, it's time to find another option. My husband and I, along with our oldest daughter, were relieved when we realized that there was another option offered other than just attending our local public school. Through the Ed Choice Scholarship, we were able to send our daughter to a private school in our area where she feels safe and her academics have just absolutely excelled. I shudder at the thought of how different our daughter's academic performance and emotional well-being would be if she were not afforded the opportunity to attend a school where she feels safe. While I'm completely grateful for the opportunity for my daughter that she's been given through the Ed Choice program, she's not my only child. My son, who the educational community labels as having a significant cognitive delay, deserves to attend a school where he feels safe and where he can receive a meaningful education that will help him become as independent as possible after high school. Those of you that have children know that as a parent, you know your child best. You know their likes, their dislikes, you know when they're happy, when they're sad. Bottom line, you know exactly what they need. The Special Education Scholarship would allow parents like myself the ability to choose what school would be best to fit their child's educational needs. ODE's vision, as stated on their website, states this: Ohio's promise, enhance achievement, focus on excellence, provide opportunities. And that's what I'm hoping for today. This vision should encompass all learners, from those who are gifted to those that are labeled with special educational needs. We need to provide the same opportunities to special education students that are provided to typical learners. This scholarship would provide the chance for special education students to attend schools by which they would achieve and excel in academics. It is a time that we break free from the cookie mold system of education and provide special education students a chance to truly reach their potential. And I think we would all be surprised by the outcomes. Thank you so much for hearing my statement.
Ooh, how do you follow that? I'm Tracy Woodard, and my background is kind of similar. We have 6 children, so we're a family of 8, and we homeschooled 2 of our kids at the time. This one decided he wanted to go back to school, so we put him in public school, and it didn't go so well. Well, we didn't have the option. We were being told this is what you get. As a parent, you want the best for your children, and this Ed Choice Scholarship gave us a second chance. I don't know any other way to say it. We have 3 other ones, a senior now in high school who does not get the Ed Choice Scholarship. We paid for him. We had 2 in school also, but couldn't afford to keep them there. So we homeschooled them. They're happy, of course, but they yearn to go back to school. Having this pass would mean the world to kids, not just my kids, but kids who don't have the opportunity, the parents who don't have that choice that this is all you get. That's not acceptable. And helping us to pass is letting us help other people and let other states government know this is not acceptable. And I thank you today for listening to me. I actually thought it would be exceptional to have somebody who's actually benefiting from this scholarship say so. So my son wants it.
Basically, how do you follow that? Me as a young man, it's been a lot. I mean, I've been through a lot. I'm sure everybody in this room has, but that's life. We have to basically just go with it and make the best. But you can't do that if you're not properly equipped. So the public school that I was going to was not equipping me, I feel, in my opinion, for life. So I was like, Mom, we have to do something. And she didn't know what to do. And that was the first time I could actually tell and my mom that she didn't know how this was going to turn out. And so, you know, I have my older brother who's a senior, and he's my everything. I want to be just like him. And so he's intelligent. To me, it's like for him, school comes easy. He really doesn't have any problem with school, and he may be just, that's what he shows. He may be terrible, but that's just what I see. So I strive to go after straight A's. One of my favorite quotes is, shoot for the moons, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. So even if I don't reach what I'm going for, I'm still going to be pursuing excellence at all times. And so through this scholarship, I feel like I have a harder work ethic on how to present myself in different situations and how to go after my grades and my education, because even to this point, I've been doing what it takes just to get by in school. And I realize now that I've been taking advantage of that because other people aren't as blessed as I am to have the Ed Choice Scholarship. So just this entire experience has made me realize that I need to grasp what is important to me and I need to get a hold on it. So thank you guys.
Wow, how do you follow that? Yeah, don't even try to try, Jerry. I really appreciate those wonderful, poignant statements. Those are, that's why we're doing this, really is. I've had a great opportunity to work with Chad Aldis. I'm going to ask Chad to come up and speak a little bit, who's the Executive Director for School Choice Ohio, who's really been an asset to me into this caucus and providing information and seeing, again, what's attainable. I think Tina made a good point both in the micro and in the macro. So I'd ask Chad to talk a little bit about our efforts and what we can do to move forward.
Good morning. I guess I truly got the shortest straw following those great stories. So, and I know I won't be nearly as moving, but I am extremely honored to be here this morning and am fully in support of Representative Huffman's proposal to expand educational opportunity to more Ohioans. I'm here very simply because School Choice Ohio as an organization is committed to this very simple notion that every child should have access to a high-quality education. And as you heard, the child's parent is the best person to make the decision as to what school that is. In Ohio, many families attend and are very pleased with their zone public school. That's not going to change under anything you heard today or anything in the future. Other families have been lucky to have quality educational options when their neighborhood school, for whatever reason, was not working for them. Unfortunately, not all families have been so lucky. Those are the stories that I often hear. Typically, families calling our office, we're a nonprofit organization that works to let families know about what their educational choices are. Families calling our office are usually hear about the Ed Choice Scholarship Program. And they call and say, am I eligible? This could be the answer to what I've been looking for. And most of the time, just because of the structure of the program, that answer is no. And the desperation and frustration we hear in their voices is heartbreaking. It's unforgettable. Ed Choice has been a popular program. It's grown consistently in its 5 years, but it's been very limited. One of the strengths of Representative Huffman's proposal, as you heard, is his movement away from awarding school choice opportunities based upon the performance of an individual public school building, like Ed Choice does, and instead placing the focus squarely on the needs of an individual student. Because at its core, school choice is about the individual child and not about building A or building B. I'd like to also say a few words about the proposed special needs scholarship. Before moving to Ohio just over 3 years ago, I had the honor and pleasure of serving as the Director of Scholarship Programs at the Florida Department of Education. In that capacity, I actually administered and implemented the largest voucher program in the nation for students with disabilities. And I won't kid you, when a decade ago, when the McKay Scholarship Program, which is what that voucher is called, was passed, it was controversial, like every school choice program has been. Today, a decade later, it would be hard to find a room full of people to stand up against it. It has been very, very popular. The pendulum has swung, and it's now an accepted and valued part of Florida's educational landscape. Ohio's Autism Scholarship, which has been around since the beginning of the 04 school year, has been really, really popular with parents. And I'm sure as this bill, this proposal moves forward, you'll hear some of their stories. And I'd really love to see that same opportunity extended to families of all students with disabilities. I think that would be very significant and important. Bottom line, the time for one-size-fits-all education is drawing to a close. School districts have already recognized this, creating innovative magnet programs within the traditional public setting, public school choice, moving to different schools within a public school district, open enrollment. All of these are factors where the public schools have recognized this and are doing, in many cases, a great job to do that. But our challenge going forward is to find the best way of educating all of the public in whatever environment that is, whether it's a traditional public school, a community school, a virtual school, or a private school using a state scholarship. So Representative Huffman's proposal is a crucial step in the right direction. I think it empowers parents and places the emphasis where it should be, squarely on the needs of the child. And I'm honored and pleased and will do whatever I can working forward to try to make sure this becomes a reality.
Thanks. We're going to have questions and answers for, you're going to have questions and hopefully I'll have answers, I guess I should say, in a moment. But I want to remind everyone in the room, or I guess inform, that we're going to have a rally March 22nd, Tuesday, March 22nd, right here on the west end, west side of the Capitol building. And I guess this is a call to arms, figurative arms, don't actually bring your weapons, please. And what we want to do is show the General Assembly and the Governor's Office and all those other decision makers what this means to parents and the taxpayers in the state of Ohio, why this is important. And we know over the last couple of days, sometimes that folks can come out and show their support in numbers for what they're advocating for. We need to advocate for school choice and for savings in the budget that help the taxpayer. And March 22nd is the day that we can do that. So I will be here, and I think probably everyone sitting around the dais up here will be there also. So put that on your calendars, folks. 1 o'clock, March 22nd. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions from anyone.
How many students currently get vouchers to go to a different school, and what kind of numbers are you looking at under the changes you're proposing?
Well, as you know, the Ed Choice Scholarship Program is capped at 14,000 statewide. That cap has been reached, and likely that there will not be any Ed Choice scholarships available for new students seeking those this year. And that's one of the concerns. There's been a couple of bills introduced to raise that cap. I think will be shortly by Representative Stapleton and then also Senator Cates. I do not know off the top of my head how many folks are participating in the Cleveland Voucher Program. I don't know if Representative Patton knows or anyone else. 5,300. Yeah, child. There you go. We have the encyclopedia. That's how many people are participating right now. And again, there have been significant artificial restrictions on this. One is limited to, I think, about 20 school districts. out of 612 in the state of Ohio, you had to live in order to qualify for a limited number of scholarships. I don't think that there'll be, whatever that turns out to be, 30 times as many people participating initially. But what you will have are a lot of folks who perhaps moved out of the inner city. And I can use Lima, Ohio as an example. Lima was a city of about 60,000 in 1970. It's a city of about 35,000. And the county population has dropped slightly. But what that means is, like a lot of places, people move to newer subdivisions or different places, sometimes for school districts, sometimes to avoid paying income tax, whatever. But those middle income folks are going to have an opportunity to have this scholarship available. They may have made the choice that I have to go to this school because I don't have the money to go to another school. Now they're going to have that opportunity. I don't know how many people are going to take advantage of that. I could say what I think it would be, but I don't think that's fair because I may not. We'll know when parents start signing up. But I will tell you this: the more people who sign up, the more money it's going to save the state of Ohio, the more money it's going to save local school districts. And that's really the beauty of this is it's again good for the taxpayers as well as good for parents and students seeking choice.
So you would eliminate all caps?
That is correct. This bill eliminates all caps.
What would happen in the instance where, let's say, 20 to 30% of a particular school district would apply for these? Would the state have to give all those people that? And then I could see some infrastructure issues with the public schools occurring as a result of that.
Yeah, that's a good question. And I'm going to answer another question I think that's germane to that. There is an issue of capacity within the private schools. Many private schools, the private school enrollment has actually dropped about 15% or so in the last 5 years. So if some school district, 20 to 30% of children wanted to have a voucher, of course they would have to qualify within the income limits to do that. There would have to be some place for them to go. We're not looking at private schools and saying you have to now run your school the way we want. Private schools are going to get to do what they want. They're going to, for example, some schools may simply say, we're going to have 25 kids per class, and a lot of places they've got 8 or 10 right now. When we reach 15, that's all the room that we have. One of the things that happens, though, when dealing with that capacity issue, is when there is more demand, new opportunities are created. And, look, when the government has restricted the market in the way that the public school system has done that, and again, that wasn't the purpose, that's not what people started out to do, that's simply the way the system grew. But when the market's restricted, then those opportunities aren't available. So I believe that as more people take this opportunity, the market will grow. There will become more opportunities, either by growth within the current private schools, and probably it will happen, but to a lesser extent, perhaps the creation of new private school opportunities. We, of course, want to make sure that those private schools stay within the bounds of accountability and transparency that we currently demand of the private school system, and that's also part of the bill. But, certainly, I think getting to the core of your question, if children are leaving the public school to take advantage of this opportunity, the public school is going to have to do the same thing it does in many other circumstances. When students leave and go to another school, when the population in general drops, we know there are fewer children in school today than there were in years past, simply because of the end of the baby boom echo is starting to end. So there's certainly going to be an adjustment. But I guess in further response, I would hasten to say that, oftentimes the current voucher program is blamed for a drop in enrollment or a drop in income. I know we have that discussion often in Lima with the city schools. But we have open enrollment, and the open enrollment loss of income and loss of students it is much greater than any use of the vouchers, and that doesn't get talked about as much, but we are giving students that opportunity, which is an excellent opportunity. Again, it's part of, and I believe, part of the school choice movement. Did that answer your question?